Good day, everyone. Good day, Ma'am Ana. This is Mark Del Inojo, a B.Ed fourth-year student of Nurso Shaton Campus. Welcome to B.Ed Assess 2, Competency-Based Assessment 2. In this video, we will be learning together about identifying patterns and trends in student performance for different content areas. But before that, allow me to present first the learning objectives. Knowledge. Demonstrate a comprehensive understanding of the steps on how to identify patterns and trends in student performance for different content areas. Skill. Proficiently analyze patterns and trends in student performance across different content areas to identify areas of strength and opportunities for improvement by following the steps on how to identify them. And effective, reflect on personal learning experiences to identify areas of growth and areas needing improvement across different content areas. Alright, let's first talk about patterns in student performance. Patterns refer to consistent or recurring outcomes in student performance over time. These may indicate strength or areas where students repeatedly struggle across various assessments or activities. For example, in a third grade classroom, students consistently score well in addition but struggle with subtraction. This pattern may suggest a need for additional instructional focus on subtraction strategies. Another example, in a second grade classroom, students consistently do well in identifying and describing shapes but struggle with understanding the concept of symmetry. This pattern may suggest a need for more hands-on activities and visual aids to help students grasp the concept of symmetry and how it applies to different shapes. Alright, let's proceed to trends in student performance. Trends are observable changes in student performance over time. This may show improvement, decline, or stability in specific areas across different grading periods or academic years. For example, over the course of the school year, a teacher notices a positive trend students' reading fluency, indicating that regular reading practice is improving their skills. Another example, over the semester, a second grade teacher notices a downward trend in students' spelling test scores, indicating that the current practice routines may need to be adjusted to better support students' spelling skills. At this moment, let's proceed to the steps to identify patterns and trends in elementary student performance. First step is the data collection. Data collection involves the different types of data to be collected. First is the formative assessments. Examples: quizzes, classwork, and informal assessments that provide ongoing feedback. Summative assessment involves end-of-unit test, standardized test, and final projects that evaluate cumulative learning. Next is the observational data. This includes notes on student behavior, participation, and engagement during lessons. And the last one is student work samples. This involves portfolios, writing samples, and other artifacts that showcase student progress over time. The next step is the data analysis. So there are 4 steps in analyzing the data. First is organize data. You have to collect and categorize data by content area and student groups. Next, identify patterns. You have to look for consistent performance levels, recurring mistakes, or strength across different types of assessments. Third, identify the trends. You have to compare performance data across different time periods. For example, beginning versus end of the school year, for us to spot upward or downward trends. The last one is the compare across groups. Analyze differences in performance among various groups such as English language learners, students with special needs, or high-achieving students. Moreover, these are the possible tools that we can use in data analysis. First is the spreadsheets. For examples, use tools like Excel or Google Sheets to track and analyze performance data. Next is the data visualization. Example, create graphs and charts to visualize patterns and trends. Example of that is line graph showing reading fluency growth over the year. The last one is the collaborative analysis. For example, work with other teachers or use data teams to review and interpret student data collectively. Alright, let's proceed to the last step in identifying patterns and trends in student performance. Interpreting the results. In interpreting the results, you have to understand the patterns and also identify the trends. But let's proceed first with the understanding of patterns. First, content-specific patterns. You have to determine if challenges are related to specific content areas. For example, students struggle with geometry but excel in arithmetic. Second, developmental patterns. You have to consider age-related developmental factors that might influence performance. For example, younger students might find abstract concepts in math more challenging. Next is the external influences. You have to account for factors like home environment, socio-economic status, and language proficiency that may impact patterns. Furthermore, in identifying the trends, there are two types of trends, long-term trends and short-term trends. For long-term trends, look for trends that span across multiple years, especially in foundational skills like reading and mathematics. Second one is the short-term trends. You have to analyze trends over shorter periods. For example, within a grading period to adjust instructional placing or focus. Alright, at this point of time, I will give you different examples of patterns and trends in elementary grades for different content areas. First, in English. Pattern. First grade students consistently struggle with decoding multi-syllabic words. Trend. Over the school year, reading fluency improved for most students, but a subgroup of English language learners shows slower progress. Possible action. Introduce phonics-based interventions and provide additional support for English language learners. In mathematics, pattern, third grade students perform well on basic addition and subtraction but struggle with word problems. Trend, a positive trend in basic computation skills is observed, but there is no significant improvement in problem-solving abilities. Possible action, incorporate daily word problem practice into math lessons and use manipulatives to help students visualize problems. In science, pattern, fourth grade students excel in understanding life sciences concepts but struggle with physical science, especially in experiments involving measurements. Trend, science performance remains stable throughout the year, with higher achievement in life sciences compared to physical sciences. Possible action, increase hands-on experiments in physical science and provide scaffolding for understanding measurement tools and techniques. The last one, in social studies, pattern, for example, 5th grade students demonstrate strong knowledge of historical facts but have difficulty understanding the cause and effect relationships in history. Trend, while factual recall improves over time, critical thinking and application of knowledge show less progress. Possible action, introduce more inquiry-based activities that require students to analyze and discuss historical events in depth. Those are the steps in identifying patterns and trends in student performance across different content areas. In summary, Identifying patterns and trends in student performance at the elementary level is essential for guiding effective instruction and ensuring all students achieve academic success. By systematically collecting and analyzing data, teachers can make informed decisions to adjust their teaching strategies, provide targeted interventions, and enhance student learning across all content areas. That's all for this video, and I hope that you have learned something new. Thank you for watching. Once again, this is Mark Del Inojo, a B.Ed 4th year student of Nerso Shatten Campus. Thank you and God bless us all.